So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our offseason rebuild series, and today it's going to be the Charlotte Hornets. For what feels like the 100th straight year, of course, the Charlotte Hornets were once again not a good, not a competitive team. This obviously has been a rebuild going on in Charlotte for several years, and it just feels like it's kind of hit a breaking point. Now, I'm not really sure what the future of this team is. They certainly have some young, some exciting talent, but is that really going to be the future of your franchise? That, of course, is the question at hand today. My goal by the time this video wraps up is hopefully get this team a championship. And finally, I want to let you guys know a few things before we do get into this rebuild. First and foremost, you guys are seeing this one on Tuesday. At this time when you're seeing this, I'm not here. I am away on business, and unfortunately, pre-scheduled videos kind of suck. But it's just the reality of the situation. My apologies. Should be a video every week. If I miss a day, my bad. Second, we are going to switch up the schedule a little bit. I have been loving the LeBron era rebuilds, but I think if we go ahead and maybe dumb that down, maybe 2 a week, while also doing 2 off-season rebuilds a week, I think that makes some more sense. Of course, by the time you're seeing this, regular season's over. Many teams have been eliminated. Certainly got a lot to do. So let me know any other off-season rebuilds, of course, along with any other video ideas you guys may have for me. I am excited for this one today. Hornets fans, I'm sure you guys are just in pain constantly at this point. Let's get into it. We now find ourselves here in the 2025 offseason. Of course, many teams are currently undergoing this, but they are going to have to make a whole lot of big decisions here in Charlotte. Now, let's discuss the roster at hand, because all things considered, it's better than some other situations. You have a face of the franchise, if you will, that may or may not be your guy moving forward. And LaMelo Ball, of course, when healthy, he is an all-star. He is an unbelievable talent. But the problem is not only one, that health. Two, it just feels like in some scenarios, he's a bit of a shot chucker. And I get it. He ultimately is on a team that is not surrounded by, a whole lot of talent. But do you truly believe that LaMelo Ball can be a number one on a competitive team? I don't know the answer to that question. And a lot of it's going to rely on health, but he, again, is kind of the direction of the team at this moment. So I'll be very interested to see what they do with him this offseason. Of course, his name has popped up in trade rumors at times. I feel like this offseason will probably be the peak of that. If they're going to move him, it feels like now is the time. But again, there's no real reason to force the issue if they don't feel like the trade is right. It's just all about deciding how you feel about LaMelo as a franchise player. So I'll be very interested to keep an eye on that. Of course, here in 2K with no injuries on, he's ultimately going to be my guy. Now behind him, Tre Mann was a really nice addition for this team. I fully intend on bringing him back, whether or not he's playing the backup 1, the backup 2, whatever it is. He's going to be a very important piece for me here in today's video. Now we head over to the shooting guard spot. Brandon Miller, still a bit of an unknown, of course, had a season-ending injury. He did not finish out this year. He's 22 years of age, of course, was the number 2 overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft, and the numbers are pretty good. I think he's going to be a good player in this league for a long time. I like his frame. I like everything about him. It's just, again, about developing and being as consistent as you can possibly be, but only 22. Nick Smith Jr. out of Arkansas, he's 21. He's a 77 overall. What pick was he? He was the 27th overall pick. So, I don't hate the idea of keeping him on this team long-term if he can continue to develop and put up some okay numbers. Again, like everybody, it's just going to kind of be a year-to-year basis. And then Seth Curry's time is probably done here. Obviously a tremendous shooter, but at 34 years old, and of course we have a little bit of youth ahead of him, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense now, does it? We move to the small forward spot. Josh Okogie was, of course, in the deadline deal with the Phoenix Suns. He came over here. He's 26 years old. Probably not my future starting small forward, moving forward, but he's definitely a viable option as a nice bench piece. Behind him, we have Josh Green, Daquan Jeffries. Again, just okay depth. None of these guys are going to ever really be the starting small forward on my team eventually. Now, the power forward spot's interesting. Miles Bridges is probably one of the better players in this team. Unfortunately, I don't like him. I think he's a piece of shit. I think many people probably share that same sentiment. But he's still a good player. So I'm not going to give him away for nothing, but I don't really want to have him on this team, if I'm being honest with you. I don't really know. But he's 27, he's an 83 overall. Grant Williams, torn ACL, has been out for the majority of this season. He's an okay role player. Of course, when he signed with Dallas, it just kind of feels like a fever dream, like it was so long ago that it happened. But of course, PJ Washington was in that deal, last deadline. But Grant's here, and again, he is good depth. Of course, can space the floor a little bit, play a bit of defense, but I don't know if he's the odd man out. It just doesn't really feel like he's in my future plans. Now, Tijan Salon, I really don't think I've heard a whole lot about this season. Now, he was the 6th overall pick, and again, we take a look at him being 19 years old. Of course, he's going to take some time to get to, the level he eventually wants to. I just don't know how much higher, he's really going to get. Like, can he get to the point where he can be a starter on this team? I don't know the answer to that question. My gut reaction is no, but of course we are going to see how things shake out. And then finally the center spot. Mark Williams, who was a Laker for about 2 days. Of course, that trade was rescinded due to the Lakers' medical concerns on Mark Williams. I think he's going to be my guy at the center spot moving forward. Of course, at one point, Nick Richards was here behind him as well. He was dealt to Phoenix. Now it is going to be Yusuf Nurkic, who's probably not a long-term backup center. Got Moussa Diabate in here, and then finally 40-year-old Taj Gibson. So that's the team. Of course, it's not really super talented top to bottom. There are some nice players here. There's, of course, some okay depth. But I do think we need to up the star power on this team and hopefully hit on a few draft picks. So let's get into offseason number 1. LeBron calling a career. A lot of names calling a career here, as they always do. Jersey retirement's cool. Draft lottery time. This is going to be pretty big for us. This team won, actually, I don't know because I'm recording this on Saturday. You guys actually don't know. It's either 19 or 20 games. But we, of course, are tied with who is that? It's the Wizards, technically, and the Utah Jazz for the number 1 overall pick. Hopefully 2K is nice to me today. Please, I'm begging you. Okay, they're not. We fall to 6 because, of course, we do. Of course we do. All right, head coach of this team is Charles Lee. That's just, again, every time I do a Hornets rebuild, I tell you this. That doesn't look like Charles Lee. Can we please fix this shit, 2K? Charles Lee, I think, can be a good coach. It's going to take some time for him to, kind of get his feet under him, but I do believe Charles Lee has a promising future in the NBA as a head coach. So I'm going to hang on to him for now. Call it my Celtics bias, but I like Charles Lee quite a bit. I think he's going to be my guy here moving forward. Of course, unless anything drastic happens. All right, the 2025 draft. Of course, we got relatively screwed. We were tied with 2 other teams for the same odds at number 1, and of course, we fall down to number 6. So there's a possibility I trade up. There's a possibility I trade the pick as a whole. I really haven't decided yet. So an opportunity presented itself, and it was just simply too good to say no to. Devin Booker's not somebody you often see in the trade finder, and I understand I did a Phoenix Suns offseason rebuild not too long ago. I'll try not to get Devin Booker too much moving forward, but you just really never see Booker's name pop up here. So maybe the Suns are fully looking to hit the reset button. They want, obviously, a decent draft pick at number 6. You got Miles Bridges and Josh Green in here as well. We also get Nick Richards back on this team. So, yeah, Devin Booker is going to pair up very nicely in my backcourt with LaMelo Ball. My preference, believe it or not, was actually to draft somebody, whether it was at 6 or maybe moving up a couple spots. But then Devin Booker kind of just fell in my lap, and I would be a really, really big idiot, in my opinion, to pass on that one. So I'm excited about having him here. I think he obviously solidifies a position of need for us, which just also goes ahead and allows me to move Brandon Miller to the small forward spot, maybe a bit of a more natural fit for him anyways. But I'm really excited about that. I did not think that was going to be the case or a possibility, and I'm really excited to happen. Now, we do have 2 second-round picks that are somewhat high. Now, I wouldn't mind maybe trying to move up into the late first, maybe not mid-first. Like, who has, like, the 20th pick or, like, 26th here? If I can get this done here in a deal with the Atlanta Hawks, okay, thank you very much. So, whoever we draft here, 26, probably not going to be a day one in, rotation piece, but I don't know, maybe at some point. Bogdan Markovic from Serbia. All right, Serbians tend to do pretty okay in the league. Really one rather than majority, but welcome to the team. All right, he's going to come in at a 72 overall. Team player options, of course, Miller, Williams, and Nick Smith Jr. Actually, we'll bring back Daquan Jeffries. Of course, this is not a realistic rebuild, so we are, just doing anything we really want here. Simpson, no. Of course, Trey Mann will get that qualifying. So we're hitting free agency here. Couple names, most notably going to be Trey Mann for us. We don't really have a lot in the cap space department, just a hair under $14 million. At this point, I'd like to make a couple trades and at least make one other upgrade. Oh, holy shit. I cannot believe Toronto took that. Well, I was looking to make an upgrade at our power forward spot, and we certainly found it here in a deal with the Raptors. Yusuf Nurkic, Grant Williams, Moussa Diabate, Bogdan Markovic, who of course we just drafted, Daquan Jeffries, and then a first-round pick swap in 2026. All sent to Toronto, and in return they dealt us Scottie Barnes. Why they did that, I have really no idea. He's only 23, and I think he's only going to get better, but really, really good trade for us, and that finally solidifies this starting 5. So I'm going to, let the 2 old friends here, Nick Richards and Mark Williams, run the center spot. Scottie Barnes, T-John Salon, Brandon Miller. I'll probably hang on to a Kogi. I think I could maybe look for a long-term piece there, but I'm content for now. Nick Smith Jr., Devin Booker, and of course we're going to re-sign Mann behind LaMelo Ball. So I'm pretty excited right now. I think we've made a lot of really good moves. I'm just looking for some other potential options here, either backup, something at this point. But I'm going to first re-sign Mann. I think that's definitely my number 1 priority. He's going to ask for about 12, 13 million. It's not terrible. All right. At this point, we are going to renounce pretty much everybody else. Again, there's not really a reason to force the issue too much. I think we have really made this team a whole lot better pretty quickly. I don't know if we're going to be winning a championship heading into year number 1, but anything's possible. I will see. Like, if Okogie and a couple second-round picks can maybe get me just somebody a little bit better and a little bit more long-term at the small forward spot, I'd take it. But if not, again, no real reason to try to force it. So, ooh. Yeah, we're going to do that. All right, thank you very much, Lakers. Not sure why, but you know what? Dalton Connect was almost a Charlotte Hornet for Mark Williams, and now we got both here. So, I'm really excited. I expect this team to be competing for a playoff spot. I'll see you guys at the start of year one. If I'm being completely honest with you, I wasn't necessarily expecting to be competitive here in our first season, but we had an offseason that I'll say escalated really quickly, and we are now at the point where I think this team can make a little noise here in the East. Now, I'm not going to guarantee a championship or anything, but you take a look at this team, at least on paper, pretty damn good. LaMelo Ball, Devin Booker, Brandon Miller, Scottie Barnes, Mark Williams. Again, not really sure why I was able to get Booker and Barnes so easily, but thank you, 2K. Bench unit will be led by Trey Mann. You got Nick Smith Jr. behind him. Of course, we added Dalton Connect for, basically nothing. Nick Richards we brought back. He'll be the backup center. And finally, T-John Salon rounding out this 10-man rotation. So the East is obviously a bit weaker than the West. I think this is easily a playoff team and hopefully one that's competing for a championship. See you guys at the end of year one. Just an unbelievable turnaround year over year. This team ends up winning 56 games in its first season, and we are feeling really good right now. I don't know if that means it's a championship, but I feel like we're pretty damn near the top of the East. Now, Nikola Jokic back to winning MVP awards, assuming SGA took one, but yeah, Jokic back winning MVPs, Cooper Flags in Washington. It's something I was thinking about the other day and something I saw on Twitter a bit people discussing is, what is the right fit for Cooper Flag? Because, you look at him, prospect, I don't know if he's generational, like he didn't have the hype like Wemby or Zion did, but he's going to be a really good player for a really long time. Don't get me wrong. What is the best fit? Like, no disrespect to the Wizards. I mean, maybe you want to see the guy in Washington. They have a somewhat exciting young core. I sure as hell don't want to see him in Utah. I mean, maybe Brooklyn, but what is the best fit for Cooper? I don't really know at this point. Let me know. Miles Bridges balled out in Phoenix, and he wins Sixth Man of the Year. Okay, I'm content with Booker. Giannis wins D Point. Mobley wins Most Improved. Steph Curry, Clutch Player of the Year, and Chris Finch, 16-22 there in Minnesota. So, moment of truth. What are we here in the East? We're the 1 seed. Okay, that, again, happened a lot faster than I initially anticipated. We'll be facing a play-in team in round 1, and we're tied for the second best record in basketball. So, I'm really happy right now. I truly, genuinely am in shock, but I'm excited. Booker, Ball, Barnes, Miller, Williams, Mann, Connect, Smith, Salon, and then Richards. Led in rebounds by Mark Williams, led in assists by LaMelo. So, boy, things escalated quickly around here. It is us and the Milwaukee Bucks. Damian Lillard, Andre Jackson, Lamar Stevens, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Oh, baby. Okay. Interesting squad there in Milwaukee. I would say they have the best player in the series, no doubt about it, but I think as a whole, we are just a better team. We are up 3-2 right now, and we do win the series in 6. Now, moving on to the New York Knicks. Brunson, Bridges, Anunoby, Hart. You got Karl-Anthony Towns. They brought in Santi Aldama. That's a nice addition. But are they good enough to get by us? The moment is now. Okay, we dropped the first 2 at home and lose game 3 on the road. We do fight back, take game 4 and game 5, and we lose in series in 6. Ultimately, we're a pretty young team. I understand Devin Booker's 28, 29. Scottie Barnes has certainly been around for a little while, but I'm not mad at the round we exited in, if you will. I think this is obviously a great learning experience. It's, as a whole, general experience for this team moving forward. So I'm pretty content with it. Really brutal series out of Nick Smith Jr. and T-John Salon. There, just look at the shooting percentages. All right, so we're going to enter off-season number 2. Again, feeling pretty good. We may make some changes. I'm not really sure. At least we can say we lost the eventual champs here in the New York Knicks. So player retirements here. Russ calling it a career. They sent my guy Drew Holiday to Detroit. Ooh. Staff retirements there. Hall of Fame inductees. Jersey retirements. Draft lottery. So we do have our own first. I don't know if there were any protections or swaps. Of course, it's not going to be super high here. It's at number 27 overall. So yeah, I'm going to hang on to Charles Lee for now. If we have another year and we bolster this team a little bit further and we still aren't getting to where we want to, maybe I consider Charles Lee and somebody else besides him at that point, but I like Charles. So he'll stay on for now, and we have the 27th overall pick. Probably similar to last year. Draft somebody, maybe a trade piece, maybe a bottom-end rotation kind of guy. Positionally, I think Malachi Moreno makes a little bit more sense. We have 2 centers that are, I believe, both free agents. So we'll draft Malachi Moreno. Again, probably not going to even crack the rotation. But everybody here will be brought back. We take a look at qualifying. Mark Williams certainly will extend him that. And then here's what we're working with. 2 centers, as I expected. So we'll sign Mark Williams, who wants about $30 million annually. Nick Richards looking for about $8.5 million, which certainly isn't as bad. But At this point, I still do think there's one or two trades I want to make. So the Oklahoma City Thunder are willing to trade me Case and Wallace for Nick Smith Jr., 2 future seconds along with the future first. It's our own first in 2027. Not going to be ultimately really valuable. So I'm going to take him. They're the same overall, same exact age, but Case and Wallace, in my opinion, is certainly a better player. And he comes with a nice contract extension. Certainly a hefty contract extension, but he's locked up long term, which I think is going to be really important for us. So yeah, I'm not really sure why they were willing to do that, but thank you very much, Oklahoma City. I mean, obviously just a stout defender and a guy I think can really help this team. So that's going to be the one and only change entering year number 2. You take a look at this team in the breakdown. We have a lot of these guys on long-term deals. So Brandon Miller is definitely going to need a contract after this season. But other than that, we're going to have no free agents next offseason, which will be really important. So another year of development. The overalls will certainly go up again. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. Second season here in Charlotte. You take a look at this starting 5, just a little chef's kiss. Look at how that development is going. We now have 3 90-plus overalls on this team, along with a lot of really, really elite and incredibly quality depth. So this team can make some noise. I truly believe this might be the best team in the East. LaMelo Ball, Devin Booker, Brandon Miller, Scottie Barnes, Mark Williams, bench unit, Case and Wallace, who's up to an 84 overall, will take over 6-man responsibilities. Behind him is going to be Dalton Connect. Trey Mann here at the backup point guard spot. Nick Richards, of course, the backup center. Finally, T. John Salon rounding it out. So, talents here. I think this is a team that certainly will be in the mix here in the East. See you guys at the end of year 2. Jokic can't stop winning MVPs, but we can't stop winning games. 64-18 is going to be the final record. I am really hoping it's the best in the league, and hopefully a championship is on its way. But yeah, Jokic just out of this world. AJ Zamantza ended up in New York. Of course, that's from the Washington Wizards pick that they're not supposed to have, but 2K can't figure out pick protections like I can't figure out women. So yeah, it just kind of happens. Jay Ivey is now a San Antonio Spur. He's your 6th man of the year. You got Wemby winning Depoy, so back-to-back Spurs. BJ Edgecomb's in Toronto. He wins most improved. Morant, clutch player of the year. Our guy, Mr. Charles Lee, or whoever that is pretending to be Charles Lee, which, again, doesn't really look like Charles Lee, so if we could please figure that out, 2K. My guy, Charles Lee, deserves a little bit more respect. All right, we are the 1 seed here in the East. We were 12 games up on the Atlanta Hawks. We had the best record in all of basketball. Take a little breakdown here at the numbers of this team. LaMelo Ball leading the charge in the scoring department. Devin Booker, Scottie Barnes, Brandon Miller, Williams. I mean, you guys know my philosophy. You've been watching my videos long enough. As long as this team is winning games, doesn't matter. The 10th guy on the bench could lead the team in scoring. I don't care. It is Orlando here in round 1. They're a pretty good team. Definitely not the easiest first-round matchup in the world. You can see the talent. Of course, Franz and Paolo are certainly a very strong duo there. So, really good start. 2-0 lead. Never mind. They're not going to be too competitive now, are they? Okay, we went in 6 once again. Celtics in round 2. Well, there's just no real nice way to say it. It's definitely not my favorite matchup in the world. We are splitting the first 2 at home, lose game 3 on the road, win game 4, big game 5. We win the series in 6, and we're moving on to the Atlanta Hawks here, who have traded Trae Young. Who'd you trade Trae Young for? Okay, your guess is as good as mine. Is it D'Angelo Russell? I have no idea. Good luck, Atlanta. I mean, imagine Trae Young with that team. It's just, I don't know why they'd move him. 2-2 right now. Okay, now we're down 3-2. We get bounced in 6. Really disappointing ending. I am curious to see the Eastern Conference Finals numbers here for this squad. Oh, dude. Book. Come on, man. Yeah, that's Booker and Barnes, neither of which were really great. That's just, that can't happen. I guess they don't need Trae Young. Jalen Johnson's leading this team to a championship. All right, we are entering the final season. Looks like Kevin Durant spent a year in San Antonio. Harden spent a year in Golden State. That's funny. All right. I'm not really sure what needs to be done in terms of changes. I think ultimately we've, of course, progressed each year. We've gotten further and further into the playoffs, but I'm still not very content with this team. This is going to be the big decision. What do I do with Charles Lee? Do I find somebody new? Do I maybe go after a Ty Lue or a Nick Nurse? I think I have to. And again, I like Charles Lee. Thinks he'd be a good head coach in this league for a long time, but I would be remiss if I did not at least attempt to make a little upgrade there, considering we haven't even made a finals yet. We truly, really have not. Could also just bring in Kemba as my head coach. That would be pretty fun. Let's just see. All right, so Nurse isn't happening, but it's either going to be Ty Lue or Kemba, hopefully. Kemba, Nurse rejected. We're not getting Ty Lue. Okay, Kemba Walker taking over as head coach here of his former team in Charlotte. I mean, the ratings are pretty cool. Like, those are pretty solid. They're better than Charles Lee's, so it's a little risky, but we don't have a huge coaching budget, and he was the only guy willing to come here. So, Kemba, well, I guess he was an assistant already, so maybe we just promoted him. All right, we have 2 first-round picks. I don't know if I'm going to use either of them. I actually don't really know what trade I could really make at this point, but I don't really know. We're looking to make an upgrade here at our backup center spot. We're going to try to acquire Donovan Clingan here in a deal with the Portland Trailblazers. And just like that, it takes Nick Richards, their 2 late first-round picks, and whoever the hell it was we drafted last year, and we have a new backup center. So I'm just trying to make upgrades across the board. You know, are all of these necessary? Probably not, but I want this team to be as good as they possibly can for the final season, and especially a first-year head coach. So extending Brandon Miller is priority number 1 at this point. I don't really think I'm worried about it too much. He has no real offers, so shit. Okay. That could be a problem. Definitely could be a problem. Now, 2K lets you get really cheesy with some of these contracts, but I may have to move off Case and Wallace because I think he's making enough to the point where it'll be impactful if I move him, but I need to find a way to dump his money. I need some sort of guard that is not making, you know, a shit ton of money. Scottie Pippen Jr. is not a horrible option. He just might be what we have to kind of settle with because I can't obviously, you know, lose Miller. So Grady Dick's making $18 million. I'm going to do this and then trade Jacoby Walter probably for nothing. Like, actually, let me just make sure. Can I get him back now? No. Fuck. This could be a tough spot. And honestly, Grady Dick still might be making too much money. But if I trade Jacoby Walter, if I just dump him for draft picks, thank you very much. Is that enough? Fuck. Okay, well, I think we're going to have to go ahead and trade Grady Dick for basically nothing. Not nothing, but a guy who's making, like, no money. Oh, boy. All right, I'm going to take Scottie Pippen Jr., Robert Williams, and then we're going to trade Robert Williams for nothing. Oh, boy, this sucks because I really, really was liking this team quite a bit, but I just really have to make sure we get Brandon Miller back, which we finally can do. So, yeah, you know, it hurts a little bit. Of course, the bench getting, you know, slightly worse. I'm not, you know, terribly worried about it, but it does kind of suck. I think I'll move Trey Mann to the backup shooting guard spot. Doesn't really matter too much. Again, they're playing not a lot of backup minutes. So, Scottie Pippen will be backing up LaMelo. I wouldn't mind finding a little bit of an upgrade at the backup power forward spot. T-John Salon, I was kind of hoping would progress just a little bit quicker. So, I have some draft capital. I, of course, concluded in a deal for a guy making pretty much exactly his same salary. So, let's just see who my options here are. Matas Zealous is sitting here. I wouldn't mind taking a flyer on him. They want Trey Mann. They'll give me Malik Beasley. Yeah, no. I have draft picks, and of course, you know, they're pretty useless to me at this point, so thank you very much. All right, I think we are as good as we possibly can be at every position across the board. This has to be the championship team. We've had 2 really fun regular seasons and 2 pretty long playoff runs, but ultimately we have yet to make an NBA Finals, and that championship, of course, has not happened. So we're entering the 3rd and final season with about as high hopes as you could possibly have, and I think this is a team of destiny. I do truly, genuinely believe that. Starting 5 remains exactly the same for the 3rd straight year. LaMelo Ball, Devin Booker, Brandon Miller, Scottie Barnes, Mark Williams. Bench unit sees a few changes. Dalton Connect taking over as 6th man. Of course, brought in Donovan Clingan. Still have Trey Mann, brought in Matas Zealous, and finally brought in Scottie Pippen Jr. Of course, new head coach Kemba Walker here as well. Like a Kemba in a suit, man. So inspirational. All right, this is the team. It has to be our time. I genuinely believe it is. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3. I'm going to propose a simple question. If not now, then when? 78-4 is the final record. It's nothing we haven't seen before. It's obviously unbelievable, but none of it means a damn thing without a championship. So if this isn't the team, the question is when. Because I don't know. The franchise is fucking cursed if this team doesn't win at all. Jokic, 3rd straight MVP. You got Alex Costanza winning Rookie of the Year. Cameron Boozer. Wembanyama, Boozer, Luka, Kemba. Okay. Let's get into it. It has to be the year. It truly does. We lost 4 games. I mean, it's just out of this world good. I just don't really have much else to say at this point. Let's just go out there, show everybody what we're capable of, and hopefully win the damn thing. Round 1, it is us and the New York Knicks, the defending champs. Now, they've made some changes in here. Well, some pretty major changes, actually, but we're better. I believe that. Fully across the board. We are currently up 3-0 against New York. We have yet to sweep anybody in today's video, which makes me a little nervous. Oh, wait, no, Atlanta won last year. Knicks won 2 years ago, didn't they? Okay, you get my point. Well, I didn't think this Atlanta team was anything last year, and they beat our ass, so let's hopefully go out and get a little revenge. Again, haven't swept anybody. Very strange. 6-seeded Brooklyn Nets. Tyler Hero, Cam Thomas, okay, would not be the greatest defensive backcourt. Zaire Williams, Santiel, there's just not a fucking chance in hell. All right, and we are taking on SGA in the Oklahoma City Thunder here in the NBA Finals. They are pretty damn good. No denying that. They have lost Chet Holmgren, though. Okay, so that's a pretty big loss. I mean, they're still really, really good. But here goes nothing. Quick 2-0 lead. 3-0 lead. And can we close out the Thunder on their home floor and cap this thing off with that championship we've been searching for this entire time? Again, yet to sweep anybody. I don't know what it is. Okay, a little bit of a furious comeback there in the fourth, but it's not going to be enough. But again, just very, very strange. I don't understand it. I mean, I sweep teams all the time in these rebuilds, but apparently not today. Okay, don't do this. Come on. I'll see you in there. With just over 2 minutes to go, we hold a 1-point lead here on our home floor in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Chet Holmgren's at the free throw line. We're getting a great look at the back of his head. Can we just back that camera angle up a little bit? Thank you very much, Chief. All right, he hits it, and we are now dotted at 97 all. Who took LaMelo? Whoa. Who took LaMelo's number? Interesting. All right, I am going to try my best. Nope. Give me a little screen here. I want to talk about the Hornets, but I have to like focus on the... I have to focus on the gameplay right now, which of course is not going very well. Big rebound there. Okay. Okay. I'd like to get the starters in this game. I'd like to get the starters. Oh, he's inside the three-point line, and he still misses. I fucking despise this game and its animations at times. Holy shit. All right, calling for a quick ISO here on SGA. Come give me an ice screen. Bazelis is in the game over Barnes for whatever reason. LaMelo gets the layup in, and we are now back to being down 1. Actually, we have never been down 1 at any point, but you get what I'm saying. All right, off-ball defense here. We're hanging with Matas Bazelis on Chet Holmgren for God knows what reason. Feels like Shea is just, it's impossible. It is legitimately impossible to fucking guard Shea in this game. It does not make any sort of sense. Clinging in for Mark Williams, who just fouled out. SGA doing what he does best. He's going to knock down a free throw right here. God, it's so annoying. It is so annoying. 4-point game. 4-point game, and we are going to try to get this done. Clinging, backing it in on Capella. That's just not working. We're just getting clamped right now by this Thunder team. Okay. Easy dunk. All right. 2-point game. Of course, got to play defense. It means nothing without the defense. So I'm going to try to, I mean, if I've tried to play on ball against SGA, I'd be torched. And again, Shea's kind of getting cooked, with the CPU anyways, but at least we can do a little bit better. So I'm just going to try. What in the fuck? Okay. If that had gone in, I would have lost my damn mind. 2-point game. Oh, I thought I was going to get an easy 3. Miller going to go up, gets fouled. Cannot get the layup to go. Miller's only got 8 points on the night. Again, a pretty low-scoring affair for two teams that are really strong offensively, but Miller can hit these 2 free throws. We got a tie ball game, my friends. I do want to see is... Okay, so as I suspected, Scottie Barnes also fouled out of this game. Awesome. First free throw for Miller, up, and it is good. One more, and we are knotted at 103. A lot of pressure here, but I'm feeling like we can get it done. Up. Good. All right, 103 all. 43.7 seconds left. They have 1 timeout. We have 2 timeouts. Let's focus. I need LaMelo. What the fuck? I mean, what is he doing? Stay in front of him. Oh my God. It's like Shea just gets whatever he wants. It's truly just genuinely ridiculous. LaMelo does answer right back, but we gotta get a stop at some point. I mean, this cannot keep happening. So I'm gonna hang with Donovan Clingan over here against Clint Capella. Shea's just going to, again, work it into the paint. Oh, boy, he's clearing it out. I tried to go for the help, and he does miss, which is really big. All right, Brandon Miller. We have the last shot. All right, we're good. I didn't realize there was only 10 seconds. So overtime or championship. Only 2 options, my friends. Little screen here coming from Bazelis. LaMelo gets downhill. No foul, but it goes anyways. And 1.7 on the clock. LaMelo Ball clutching up for this team. Holy smokes. I did not think that was going to happen. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now, what does the defensive lineup look like? Just curious. It keeps everybody exactly in the game. All right, what is the defense here on man? Yeah, not great. All right, that's cool with me. Everybody can stay in the game. They got 1.7 seconds. They have time to get a shot off if they really want it. Goal number one right now is to deny SGA the basketball. He's, of course, the guy they're going to want to go to. I cannot let him get the ball. No. Championship. Boy, oh boy, what an absolute nail-biter that was. LaMelo Ball going to take home finals MVP. Pretty good series out of him. All right, man, capping this one off the only way I wanted to with the championship. This was a lot of fun. Obviously, things escalated pretty quickly in that first offseason. I mean, we basically put a contender together within 2 trades, and I was not expecting it to happen that quickly, but it did. But, of course, that also made it a little bit more painful, and, of course, you know, just trying to wait out that championship, which, of course, we eventually got in year 3. So I had a lot of fun with this one. Again, I'm planning on doing 2 of these a week moving forward, 2 LeBron rebuilds, and hopefully 1 rebuild challenge as well. So anybody got any ideas for any of those? Let me hear it down below in the comment section. Of course, we're only doing off-season rebuilds for teams that have officially been eliminated from the playoffs. So as soon as the play-in's done, some of those teams will be eligible, and of course all the teams that are not going to be in the playoffs. So yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed. Going to be very interesting to see what the Hornets actually do in real life this offseason. A lot of make or breaking points for this squad, so I'll keep my eyes on it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, and that'll do it for me. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.